What's up, everybody? Sir LT Giles here, and this is going to be a quick discussion on two chapters on the Clash of Kings. Theon's last chapter and Arya's second to last chapter. First, I want to give a quick shout out to Don the Kraken Wit, because he really got me into the audiobooks. I've listened to a few chapters before in the past, and I just completed a Clash of Kings. This isn't really a review, this is just a discussion on two chapters. Before I listen to the first book, and then I want to listen to Storm of Swords, and then so on and so on. I want to gradually listen to all of the books on audiobook. I've got plenty of time until next season. That's what I did during season 2. After season 2, when I watched the 2 seasons, I read all the books in between, waiting for season 3, and got my heart broken. But anyways, if you haven't read A Clash of Kings, I advise you not to check this video out and go back and read unless you don't care about spoilers. Well, alright, so first we're going to talk about the Arya chapter. Arya is in Harrenhal, and she asks Jaqen H'ghar to help her to get one more death, and Jaqen H'ghar gives her a bunch of deaths because she's under the lock and key of Sir Army Lorch. And so this chapter is really cool. I really love it because she finds out that there's a bunch of Northmen that are taken prisoner. Rupert Glover, Aenys Frey, and a bunch of other Northmen. And so Arya, Jaqen H'ghar, Warg, and Biter, they all set a plan to bring some broth to the dungeons. And they go and they sneak in there. Well, not sneak in there, but really go in there. And they take the soup to the guards and fucking throw it on the guards and burn them. And the way Roy Dotrice makes it, they're all screaming and shit. And they get them out. They get all the Northmen out. And then there's basically an uprising, and all the Northmen take over the castle and take out all of Sir Army Lorch's men. Well, he's not a Sir, because he's the Brave Companions, or Bloody Members, one of them. And then so after that, they take the castle, and basically Roose Bolton comes, and Sir Army Lorch is paraded around naked, and they throw him into the bear pit, and he basically dies. He deserves what he got. Now I have some questions for everybody. So I was wondering what everybody thinks about Rupert Glover and Aenys Frey. At the time, were two men that Robb Stark trusted. I believe he trusted them. Arya felt not to tell none of them, or Roose Bolton, of course, that she's Arya Stark. Now, I understand Roose Bolton. He's very scary looking and weird, so she doesn't trust him. But Rupert Glover and Aenys Frey, she could have told both of them who she was. And Roose Bolton couldn't have hid her from Robb. They would have brought her to Riverrun immediately, because Rupert Glover, Robb trusted. So I just wonder why Arya felt not to tell them. What I got out of it is she didn't trust. I want to know what you guys think. If you guys think why Arya didn't tell them what she thought. But the overall chapter was really good. The whole Jaqen H'ghar thing was amazing. I love it. I wish they would have done it this way in the book, but I mean the show, I'm sorry. But the way we see it is, what I've said is we got two different universes. We got the show and the books, and the books are better. I'm playing simple. The books are better, but I do love this show. I'm not hating on the show. Okay, so that's gonna be the end of Arya, her second to last chapter. It's let me grab my piece of paper. If you guys want to find it and you've never found it, it's chapter 47, page 561. So moving on to Theon. Theon is took in Winterfell in this chapter, and he's talking to Master Luwin about the numbers he sees over the battle walls, and he's distraught. He knows he's doomed, and Master Luwin keeps on convincing him to take the black. And it's funny because he almost He almost convinces him. He's like, there's honor in the Night's Watch. I could maybe serve by East Watch at the sea. And it's hilarious because Theon's so close. And, oh yeah, so before that, there's a showdown between Roger Cassel and Theon about surrendering the castle. And Theon takes his daughter Beth and is threatening to hang her. And Roger Cassel says, take me instead. And you see, you just hear the pain in Roderick's heart with Warrior Trees. He's amazing. And so they have their little discussion, and then that's it. And you see all the men, and you see basically Roderick tells Theon that this is and I can't say that word. You see that basically Roderick shows Theon that he's doomed. But Theon, at this point, doesn't care. He's just using Beth Cassel as a hostage, as, you know, and then, like, eventually Theon says, well, if I hang her, they're going to storm the castle. If I don't hang her, they're going to see my threats are not real. And then after that, that's when Theon's talking to Master Luwin about taking the Black, and he's really close to taking the Black. And he sees Roderick's men getting attacked from behind, and we find out it's Ramsay, who Theon thought was Reek, that he sent out to get soldiers. And there's a big battle, and Theon's just thinking, is it Asha? Did my brother come? And so he opens the gates. Here comes a knight in nice armor, red armor, and Theon finds out it's Reek, and he goes, Reek, how did you get this nice armor? Reek tells him that he betrayed Roderick, that Roderick thought it was his friend, and he took his arm, and Lord Surin and Lord Tallheart, well, not Lord Tallheart, but one of the Tallhearts. And so Ramsay tells Theon, I need you promised me a woman. I'll be having Carla. And he's like, you lost your mind? And Ramsay slaps the shit out of him, knocks him on the ground, and basically that's it. So, what I was going to say about Ramsay in this chapter is the armor that they say has is red, and they say it's really nice. And in my head, I always thought that it was, I don't know if any of you guys have seen the Bram Stoker's Dracula. And in that movie, he has some amazing red armor, and it's kind of like it's Dragon Order armor. But that's what I thought of Ramsay having. I mean, I know it's probably not that nice, but the armor was pretty cool. Now, I so think when I go back to this about how the moves that Ramsay was making, and they wanted to kill him earlier, and they thought they killed him, but they killed Reek. And at this point, Robb is still king of the North. He hasn't been betrayed by Roose Bolton yet, or Walder Frey. So Ramsay's making some bold moves, and basically, Roose Bolton is thinking, man, I have no accountability. If they catch him, he's dead. And it's crazy because if Robb never got betrayed, Ramsay's doomed. So is the Boltons. I'm sorry, they are. So I have some questions for you guys. One, I've done some research on Roger Cassel. I've read all the books, of course. I've watched his Wiki Ice and Fire page, and it never says who knighted him, or it just says it's unusual that he's a knight in the North, but he does, he's a knight. So if anybody knows, if they heard any interviews with George about how Roger Cassel was knighted, I would love to know. If anybody has any information on that, put it in the comments, let me know. Oh, and I know I only said 2 chapters, but I want to mention the Bran chapter, the last chapter, when they're in the Crypts of Winterfell and they're coming out. What I thought was really cool, because I just listened to that chapter earlier today, is Bran mentions all the kings of the Winter, all the Starks by name. I mean, Brandon Stark and Rickard Stark and all these other Starks, Theon Stark, which I thought was really cool. And I just thought that was really cool. If you guys haven't read Clash of Kings in a while, you could definitely go back to the last chapter if you want to hear all the names of Starks, because in the World of Ice and Fire, it's a little short, like I don't believe they have all the Starks in there. I might be wrong, but I just think it's cool how they have all the names of all the Starks. But two solid chapters, a solid book. I really never thought of Clash of Kings as being one of the best books, but this whole Theon chapter is really good. I really like. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention how crazy it was when Theon got slapped, and oh no, I think it was after Theon got slapped, and Ramsay said burn it all, and his horse was running out on fire, and they said the horse was screaming, and that just image in my head just wow. But no, it has been a short discussion on 2 chapters I read. Not really a whole book review. I'm gonna listen to Storm of Swords, and if anything stands out, I've read it twice, and once in hardback and once on my phone. I'm just listening to it on audiobook. If anything stands out, I'll probably do some discussions on some more chapters. I know in the future, me, Don Willie, Don the Kraken Wit, Sweet Wife T, Tinker J, we plan on doing discussions on different chapters, so I guess it's cool if I listen to they were talking about the Davos chapter, so I might I might read that or listen to that a few times if we do that. But no, like I said, shout out to Don the Kraken Wit. I've listened, I'm really into the audiobooks because of him. But rate, subscribe, like, hey, this is LT and I'm out.